Three things are certain in life: death, taxes, and the smell of barbecue in the American South. Sonny's Barbecue captured the love the American South had for barbecue with its menu to the point it grew to become the biggest barbecue restaurant chain in the United States. This restaurant is also an example of how a restaurant that began because of love can become soulless. Nonetheless, the restaurant has delighted customers and also suffered, but it has remained resilient. This is the story of Sonny's Barbecue, where love conquers all, and yet hate is just half a step away. In 2008, the store's locations in Atlanta almost completely lost their business. As it happened, Greater Atlanta Barbecue, which owned the chain's franchise location in Atlanta, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection for 10 locations. The franchise owner lost 4 locations after declaring Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and then, after leaving bankruptcy, it lost another 3 locations. It was a trying time for the company in Florida, but it survived and went to war against the Tifton, Georgia restaurant. That restaurant has allegedly been copying Sonny's image and icons for its employees and business. Sonny's Barbecue won as the other restaurant changed its name to Smokehouse Restaurant. The victory must have gotten the chain's head as one of its franchise owners went to war with its customers. Crazy, isn't it? Here's what happened. In 2016, Lauren Jones joined the Sonny's Barbecue franchise at the Arboretum in Charlotte and worked with the store for about a month. Then it happened. Lauren accused the location's manager of harassing her. She complained and got the attention of Ed Tubble, the owner of Trico, the franchise company that owned and operated the location. Lauren then got a meeting with Ed. Victory for her against her harasser. At least that was what she thought. The problem is, you've been with us less than a month, and he's been with us 15 years and has never had anybody ever accuse him of that, Ed told Lauren. Then he fired her, as he claimed no one had ever brought that kind of complaint about the manager apart from her. Because he's never done it, so that's our position now, Ed said. However, Ed didn't know one thing. That meeting he had with Lauren was recorded, and it made its way to the internet. You can guess how people reacted. And if you like to learn about the history of your favorite eateries, be sure to subscribe for more content like this. People didn't like what happened, and they took to the chain's main corporate and the controversial store's page on Facebook to express their displeasure. "I will never step foot in a restaurant that fires an employee for filing a sexual harassment report," a user said. "Shame on you, Sonny's. I don't care if she only worked for you for one day. Your franchise owner is not only misogynistic, he is also unethical, and his actions are illegal," another said. Things went crazy, and the company had to break its silence. The company wrote that the incident was one that it had little control over, as its franchise owners independently own and control its franchise locations. However, the business declared that it was taking the matter seriously and was monitoring how it would be resolved. Well, their response wasn't enough. People continued to criticize the chain, with Ed Tubble refusing to comment on the situation. Now you know about the times that customers hated the business. Let's now talk about what customers love about it. People love Sonny's, and the restaurant achieved this by preparing food customers enjoyed. So let's get to the meat of the matter. Sonny's Barbecue has a typical Southern-style barbecue menu with brisket, baby back ribs, pulled and sliced pork, St. Louis-style ribs, buffalo wings, appetizers, burgers, and sides. So how did business manage to stand out to the point it once became the biggest barbecue restaurant chain in the United States? The chain claims to have a meaty knowledge of parts of animals that would provide customers with the most value. So the chain began to specialize in the right cuts. But while it believes that the end-all and be-all of barbecue is the right cut of meat, it understands that it is only a part of the process. So the company created what it calls the art of barbecue, which it claims gives its barbecue the flavor that made its barbecue so popular. But do you know the interesting part? The business, despite having around 113 stores in about 10 southern states, still sees itself as a local barbecue joint with only a few stores. Well, looks like someone needs to teach the folks at Sonny's Barbecue how to count and that size matters. They can't just be underselling themselves like that. But we understand it's just them being humble. They should still just stop. The company's famed art of barbecue sees it smoke its meats slowly for hours, making it juicy and tender. There's also another thing that makes the brand stand out. The company chooses to smoke with oak because as a hardwood, oak burns slowly and its smoke heavily infuses the meat, giving it the smoky flavor that its customers love. However, the business's attractions don't stop at food. The chain has positioned itself as the place where people can bond over a meal and spend time together. The company also links itself to the community by always appearing as a local store. It also binds itself to the community by rewarding people who contribute towards the community's growth and development through its random acts of barbecue. So what is the reward the business gives these selfless people in a community? A big barbecue feast. The chain also warmed itself into its customers' hearts by creating a special day of pork, which it called Sonny's National Pulled Pork Day. The chain began the event in October 12, 2016 and celebrates in all of its locations. Now do you see why the chain got so large? Now that that is out of the way, let us take you to where it all began. Sonny's Barbecue puts a lot of effort into appearing homey, and this could be because Floyd Sonny Tillman and his wife Lucille founded it on April 17, 1968. The restaurant's first location was on Waldall Road in Gainesville, Florida, but it soon expanded. In 1977, the company took its expansion to another level as it sold franchises, and by 1988, it already had a presence across 6 states with 77 restaurants. However, Tillman was done with managing a company of that size, and so he sold it. In 1991, Bob Yarmouth bought the company and became its head. However, despite selling, Tillman found it hard to let go. So he continued to own Sonny's Barbecue's first location until 2011 as a franchise owner. Even after dropping ownership of the business, the man continued to attend grand openings, commercials, and also took part in other events. You can take the man out of Sonny's, but you can't take the Sonny's out of the man. Sonny's Barbecue had caused quite a rave in the American South after beginning as a humble business a couple founded. The chain attracted a large fan base by serving meals customers appreciated, but it didn't stop at food. The chain also found other ways to connect with its customers and the community its stores are in. But this wouldn't save it from getting into trouble with some of the communities it does business in. Nonetheless, the chain remains popular in the American South, and you would think they will try to expand and become a more national brand. Should the company take on America as a whole, or should it remain a regional joint? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to support our channel.